A lot of the largest enterprises now use MapR as a distribution. What we found is there are a lot of limitations with kind of the other Hadoop distributions in terms of, for example, only being able to append to files, essentially HDFS being a read-only file system. And so MapR has really come up and solved those problems by providing the ability to do random reads and writes and the ability to expose a standard storage interface. So it's very easy to use the platform. And those kinds of innovations, like having an NFS interface, are only possible when you have the underlying random read-write capability that we've built, and that's not something that can be just bolted onto HDFS. The same things apply for all the enterprise-grade business continuity. If you look at things like high availability, not having a name node, or snapshots for point-in-time recovery with full consistency, or disaster recovery across data centers. Those are all features that are unique to MapR, and they're enabled by the advanced architecture.
Tomer, I got to ask you, obviously MapR M7, big news here. Also the joint testing with Fusion.io, company we've been covering since they've been private, now public, pioneering the flash SSD space for, on server side, among other things, just really changing the game on I/O, and then these, we call, software-led infrastructure, software-defined infrastructure. What have you guys found? Because obviously writes and reads is a big debate. Get these data lakes out there being talked about. HBase is a great opportunity to take advantage of those data lakes. What did you guys do in M7 and with Fusion? What have you guys tested? Could you share with the folks just some color behind the Fusion relationship and that announcement?
Yeah, absolutely. So, MapR's M7 edition is all about bringing together the different types of the Hadoop workloads, as well as the NoSQL workloads, with the ability to run HBase applications in a production environment. So M7 is all about enterprise-grade HBase, in addition to Hadoop, and having that one platform. From a performance standpoint, we've solved all the inefficiencies that otherwise exist in the software layer, and with M7, it's really all about driving. We're really able to drive the hardware at its raw speed. So if you look at technologies like SSDs and specifically Fusion.io, that brings to the table additional performance improvements at the hardware layer that MapR can uniquely take advantage of. If you look at other Hadoop distributions, they're bottlenecked in the software, and I've seen blog posts talking about how Hadoop can't benefit from SSD. I think we heard that today, it won't benefit from SSDs in the next 3 years, and really that's because there's inefficiencies at the software layer that needed to be addressed, and MapR's addressed those. And I think the other point there is, most customers, they don't want to run the entire cluster just with SSDs, and so MapR gives them the ability to provide tiered storage where they can do some workloads, for example, the HBase type workloads on SSD and other workloads on the spinning disks.
It's funny, we've been, it's funny to watch and interesting to watch, not so much funny, but it's just funny to watch the early criticisms of MapR and when you guys were founded and launched. Oh, well, they're non-standard, et cetera, et cetera. You're smiling, you know what I'm talking about. But now, everyone's catching up to you guys with this enterprise-grade messaging. So I really want to ask you, you guys have stayed true to your mission on the enterprise side, really using open source, building a product for the enterprise. So just comment anecdotally if you can, just on everyone else kind of catching up, because Merv said it's the bike race where everyone kind of catches up to someone else. Or have they caught up? Are you extending your lead? And what have you found in the enterprise that's going to keep you ahead of the pack in terms of being differentiated on that